What could go wrong?
What could I go wrong? Konnichiwa.
Welcome to the Coredo channel. My name is Pavel Kos, and today we will explore a topic that is essential for success in both business and life: risk management. What is risks? How can you identify it, evaluate it, and most importantly, reduce it? I will explain all of this today, so let's get started. Risk isn't necessarily bad. It can also be an opportunity if we know how to manage it. The first step is identifying risks. How do you do it? Ask yourself questions like, what could go wrong? What might affect the achievement of my goals? What external factors could come into play? You can also use tools like brainstorming with your team, analyzing past data, or checking trends. Have you identified risks? Great. Now it's time to evaluate it. Create a risk matrix. Determine the likelihood from low to high and assess the impact from minor to critical. This way, you will know which risks need immediate attention and which ones can wait. Now, for the most important part, how do we reduce risks? The first option is elimination. Eliminating risks means removing its root cause so that the risk cannot occur. This is the most effective way to manage risk, but it's often the most challenging. How can you do this? First, by changing the plan. If a part of the project or strategy carries high risk, you can revise it or cancel it altogether. For example, if you know an external supplier is unreliable, you can opt for an in-house solution instead. Second, by removing a risky process. If a process includes a step prone to errors, eliminating that step can remove the risk. For instance, replacing manual data processing with automation. Third, by changing the environment. If you are working in conditions that increase the likelihood of risk, such as areas prone to natural disasters, moving the project into more stable location can eliminate the risk. Here's an example. You are planning an outdoor event, but the forecast predicts rain. Eliminating the risk means moving the event to an indoor venue where bad weather won't disrupt it. The second option is reduction. Reducing risk involves taking measures to decrease its likelihood or impact. This approach is often more practical than elimination, as some risks cannot be completely avoided. How can you do this? First, by implementing technological improvements, using modern systems to reduce the probability of errors, for example, installing a firewall to decrease the risk of cyber attacks. Second, by improving processes, reviewing and streamlining workflows to minimize the risk of mistakes or delays. Third, by training employees, strengthening your team's knowledge and skills so they can better prevent problems. For example, safety training for workers, the impact on Fourth, by adding buffers. Time or financial reserves allow you to absorb the impact of unforeseen problems. Here's an example. You are considering launching a new service, but you worry about low demand. Reducing the risk means testing the service on a small scale first and gathering customer feedback. The third option is sharing. Risk sharing means dividing its impact among multiple parties. This can be especially useful when risks cannot be eliminated or reduced to an acceptable level. How can you do this? First, through insurance. For instance, taking out a policy to cover costs in case of risks, such as property damage or business interruption. Second, through partnerships. Sharing responsibility with partners who can bear part of the risks. For example, a joint venture where partners share both profits and potential losses. Third, through outsourcing, delegating certain tasks to external specialists who are better equipped to handle the associated risks. Here's an example. A company takes out insurance against theft or natural disasters, protecting itself from financial losses in case of unexpected events. The fourth and final option is risk acceptance. Acceptance means consciously deciding to take on the risk because its impact is so small that addressing it would be inefficient or too costly. How can you do this? First, by evaluating costs and benefits, comparing the cost of managing the risk with the costs incurred if the risk materializes. Second, by creating reserves. Even if you accept the risk, you can prepare resources to handle its consequences. For instance, maintaining a financial cushion for unexpected expenses. Third, by monitoring and readiness. While accepting the risk, you keep an eye on the situation and remain prepared to respond quickly if a problem arises. Here's an example. A small software company knows that some of its products might receive negative reviews. They accept the risk of a bad review because the likelihood of it significantly affecting their overall business is low. To summarize, each of these methods has its place. Elimination is ideal when you can remove the risk entirely at the start. Reduction works well when the risk cannot be eliminated but can be minimized. Sharing is suitable for transferring responsibility to other parties. Acceptance is sensible for small risks that aren't worth complex solutions. Effective risk management often combines all these approaches. Risk management is about identifying, evaluating, and acting. Identify potential risks, assess their impact and likelihood, and most importantly, take steps to minimize them. Effective risk management is the foundation of success, not just in business but in life. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, give it a like, subscribe, and share in the comments what risks you are dealing with. See you next time.